Hello, beautiful soul. I want to talk to you today. So, welcome. Great to chat with you again. I'm going to talk about something that I'm really passionate about, and it's something that I really encourage my clients to do, especially when I start working with them. And this is actually energy clearing the soul of your home, because your space and your environment hold imprints. So whenever someone works with me, I will energetically scan them, and 9 times out of 10 I am directed to either look at working on their health and well-being and what their spiritual rituals and practices are in their body, in their environment of their body, or I'm actually shown about their home environment. One of the things that I found really interesting when I started working with the Akashic Records was understanding that there is a record of everything that we have. So we have our own Akashic Records, but we have an Akashic record of our business, which I love working in as well. But we also have the Akashic Records of our home. And what I found really interesting, right, was I've bought and sold and I house flip. That's the type of thing that I'm into, right? So I have lived in multiple homes all in the UK and in Australia, right? And even my parents just laugh at me because they actually have a running joke on how long is Claire and Andrew going to live in this home. But what I found really interesting was when I started getting into deep spiritual work and also the Akashic Records, is that your home has a soul. It has an Akashic record. And also what you'll find within the home is that your home holds on to memory. Everything has a memory imprint. So sometimes your home needs an Akashic record cleansing, right? The soul of that home, especially if that home is still quite tied to its past occupants. Okay. The land also has like memory. So it also, the land that the house is sat on also has an Akashic record. But, I'm going to talk a little bit first about the inside of your home. So, for instance, I'll give you a really good example. How many times have you had an argument around the dinner table? It happens, right? So that dinner table, those chairs, the area of where you are eating in that dining area, it holds on to that energy frequency. So it can cause more arguments further down the track. I found that when I used to walk into my husband's office, so he has an office at home as well as myself, and sometimes I actually won't go in the office, and I think sometimes, why am I not going in there to have a chat with him throughout the day? Why is that? And I'm like, oh, I need to go in and clear that energy, because, he has lots of meetings in that office, and they can be quite heated meetings, right? So I do have to go in there and energy clear. And that's one thing that I do find myself in this room a lot, right? Because I do so much healing in this room, and I've got my crystals. It's my sanctuary as well as my office. And I find that I really love spending time in here, and I have to be quite careful of that. When I had my prior business as well, I used to spend, my background, if you didn't know me, my background is I used to work in the hair and beauty industry. So I had a salon, and I used to find that I used to spend a lot of time in the salon because I used to energy code my salon. On the top of the mirrors, I used to put crystals, right? Underneath the hairdressing chairs, I used to place crystals, right? So when the clients used to come in, they used to love the energy because I was clearing and cleansing the energy all the time in my studio and my salon. The same with the office, right? And I find that the kids want to come in a lot of the time because they love the energy of this room. So, it was really interesting going on my spiritual path and my journey, but also looking at my home environment. And what led me to that, right? Let me get onto this with you, was the fact that I was busy like working on the energetics of my business, manifesting clients, building this business, etc., etc. And, it was like, it hit a wall. And I tuned in one day and I said, I was guided with my intuition, and I tuned in and I said, okay, what is going on? Why is my business just like, I don't want to say flatlined, but it just hit a a line, right? It was successful, but it wasn't growing, it wasn't taking off again. Um, and what I was told was work on your home. And I was like, really? Work on my home? Really? Because sometimes we're guided that we need to live a life of abundance, right? A life of abundance is health, wealth, time, and love, right? But then also you have the different areas in your life wheel that you need to look at. So I was guided to work on my home. I'd only been in the home probably about 6 months, and the home was soulless, right? The home was soulless. I do find that I end up buying properties that are a bit soulless, right? And I go in, and obviously I change the energy around these homes. So I went into I went and tuned into the home, tuned into the Akashic records of the home, and realized that I needed to do X, Y, and Z. I needed to do a little bit of feng shui. The house actually was built really well with feng shui, so it was good. I'm not a feng shui expert, can I just say that? But I spoke to the soul of the home, and I said, okay, what do you need, what do you want, etc., etc. And I did my magic. And what I found that when I poured the love into the home, so that was the first thing that I needed to look at, was my home. The second thing that I was guided to look at was my own health and well-being. And when I looked at those two sectors, and I created the energetic changes and stuff like that, then my business just went skyrocketed and then went off again. So your home has a soul, but everything in the home also holds and stores memory imprint. Same with your bedroom, same with your bathroom, same with your laundry, everything like that. And obviously you can look at feng shui and be guided by that. One book that is amazing is Marie Diamond, Feng Shui Your Life. Fantastic book, highly recommend it. Yeah, I don't really need to say any more about that. You can always go and speak to an expert and have your home feng shui, but it will also change your relationships positively, and it will change your money and abundance and things like that. But what I'm going to talk to you today about, I'm giving you my tips and my advice, is about energy clearing your space. So when I first got into understanding about energy clearing your space, I was searching it on the internet. How do you sage, right? How do you do this? How do you do that? And actually, what I came to think about and what I came to learn is it's all about you. It's all about your intuition and what works for you. So there's a few things that you want to do. You want to be able to chill out and chillax before you do any type of energy clearing your space. And when you do that, you need to energy clear yourself, but then you want to walk through your home. And you want to walk into a room and really tune into the energy of that room. How does it feel? Does it feel cold? Does it feel warm? Does it feel inviting? You will know, because if you don't want to walk into a room, you know that room needs energy clearing. Okay. So the first thing you want to do is chill out. Okay. Go through your home and make sure that you can tune into the room and see what needs to be done, right? You will know, because as soon as you walk in, you will either feel instantly at peace and feel uplifted in that room, or you might feel physical discomfort, because the energy around us really tells us and sets the tone of the energy inside us as well, and vice versa. So everything is energy, right? So my candle, and I've actually lit a candle today as I'm talking to you, right? So I'm helping you clear the space. But everything is energy, so everything holds on to energy. So my pen has energy around it. Okay, so if this pen was being written by somebody that was angry, that felt bitter, that felt shame, that was writing words along those lines, and then handed it to me, I could pick up on that energy, especially if you're incredibly sensitive and you're incredibly empathetic. Okay, because you can actually, there is psychic senses where you can hold on to something and you can pick it up and you can read the energy of that. A lot of psychic seers will hold, maybe like a ring, and they will be able to read who owns that ring 100%. The one thing that you want to be really careful of is, if you're very empathetic and sensitive, is is secondhand stores, right? And this is one thing that I love, a vintage shop, but I have to be really careful. I have to seal myself up before I go into those vintage shops, charity shops, or antique shops, because they will hold memory, and sometimes I can pick up on what that's all about. The other thing that I learned with moving houses, right? I was going to view this house at one time, and the house was beautiful, right? Went in, oh, it just felt lovely. I thought, yeah, I could really see myself here. There was like paddocks next to the house, and there was horses in there. It was just absolutely beautiful, and I really liked it. And then I got in the car and we were driving home, and God, I felt really in a bad mood, and I didn't know where. It sort of blindsides you. I didn't know where this was coming from, and I was really grumpy in the car, and I was snappy, and I sat there and I thought, where's this come from? This doesn't feel right. This is weird. I was in that house and I felt really nice, and now I'm out of this house. What's gone on? And I literally tuned in and I was like, what's going on? Why do I feel in such a really like peed off mood? And it was like, you've picked something up. And I was like, oh, what have I picked up? And then obviously blah blah blah. So I was like, okay. And then I cleared it. And then, sort of 10 minutes later, I felt back to my original self. So, you can go into other people's homes and you can pick up on this stuff as well, 100%. And sometimes when we're in our home, we actually don't notice it. We can actually find it easier to pick up on it in somebody else's than in our own homes. So I always recommend that you are doing like spiritual energy clearing within your home quite regularly. If you are a healer, you need to be clearing your home more often than not, especially because what you'll find is if you do have pets, your pets are highly, highly psychic, and they will be quite disturbed within the home. And that's another sign as well that your home needs energy clearing. So the first thing that you want to be looking at, and I keep saying the first thing, right? One of the things that I'd like you to look at is decluttering. So what you'll find is that when you create space within the home, right, you will find that you also feel like you've created space within your body and your mind. So a cluttered home means a cluttered mind. You'll find a lot of people with ADHD really struggle with keeping things tidy and keeping on top of things. So for instance, like that, if you're finding that you're really struggling with clutter, that you really want to be looking at your minerals as well. That's another thing that can be, I am a medical intuitive, so that's another thing that can be quite helpful for you. But decluttering is not about physical organisation. So for me, I'm quite eclectic. Okay, so I like my house to be clean and tidy, but I can be a bit of an eclectic mess. So some things are quite messy in my home, but I do find that every few months, and because we move quite often, that we do a big cull and we keep decluttering. Because what that does is it's helping you to let go of the past, and it helps you to move forward. And because sometimes everything, as I said, everything has a memory, everything has an energy, and it holds on to it, right? If you've got stuff there from your past that, has, that is linked to maybe sadness, linked to loss, even like clothes within your wardrobe. If you've got clothes in your wardrobe that you wear, your skinny clothes, come on, we've all got it, girls, right? We have the skinny clothes. What does that do? Every time you walk into the wardrobe and you see those skinny clothes, it's a reminder of that I'm not good enough, I'm not thin enough, I'm not enough, etc. So those clothes hold memory and imprints as well. So it holds echoes of the past. So sometimes, you want to keep things that are sentimental 100%, but that's a positive sentimental. You don't want a negative sentimental where it makes you feel less than. So then you want to look at harmonizing your space. So once you've done a big declutter, that's the first thing you want to do, decluttering. Declutter. Don't do it all in one go. You will find it completely overwhelming. You choose one room or one section at a time and you energy clear. The old Marie Kondo, she's amazing at, you pick something up. Does this thing bring me joy? If it brings me joy, I keep it. If it doesn't bring me joy, you let go. because joy is actually a frequency, it's quite a high frequency. And, you know, once again, what she's saying to you there is you're picking that up. Is it a frequency of love and joy? If it's not, if it's anything lower than that, then you need to let that go, because you want to fill your home with love and joy. And then, you know, energy clearing, making simple. Can I give you a couple of tips? And you're probably thinking, yes, please, Claire, please do. One of the best things to do is to light your candle, right? And place it in the center of your home, because candles are working with the element of fire. So fire is really good at burning anything that's heavy and dense. And if you place it in the center of your home, you're placing it in the heart center of your home, which is the love center. So when you are working through the element of fire in the middle of your home, you are just clearing anything that's not of the frequency of love, and then it's just dissipating, dispelling out as well. The other thing that you can do is that you can sage and smudge. Just be careful of your smoke alarms, okay? So, you know, saging and smudging, just be aware that, you know, people are quite sensitive to saging and smudging. So saging and smudging is really good if you want to clear anything that's heavy. So sage and smudging is clearing. Palo Santo is blessing, because sometimes people say, what's the difference between the two? So sometimes you need to do a clearing, and then what I do is I intuitively just go around, and you really want to clear the dead spaces of the home, you know, like the corners up in basically where cobwebs go. That's where you want to be clearing. Make sure it's a beautiful day, you're letting the sunshine in, even if it's breezy, great, because you're using the element of wind to help blow things out, but open all the windows as well. So you just want to intuitively, some people say go clockwise, some people say do it this way, do it that way. Go with what you feel is right. If this is your home, I want you to be intuitively led by what works for you. So I walk around with my candle, because I like the element of fire. I like a bit of fire, right? And then I use my smudging stick as well. What you'll find is if it's really going mad with the smoke, it needs a lot more clearing, right? And remember to do the doors as well. And, you know, I do outside the home as well. And I do like I actually have crystals energetically set all the way around the home, like a grid. So I go around the crystal grid with the sage and the smudging. So when that's finished, I like to then go round and actually use some essential oils, right? Because I actually don't like the smell of sage. I'm quite sensitive to it, but it's really, really potent and powerful. And then I go around and then I just spray with essential oils, because I just love the smell of that. And then what I do is I then finish off with like either incense or Palo Santo, and I go round and I bless the home. So every time I go into a room, I bless the room with how I want this room to feel, what I want to achieve, what I want the outcome of this room to do. So, you know, like for instance, if I'm in the lounge area and that's where we sit down at night, I want it to be that we can feel peaceful, that we can feel relaxed, we can feel calm, and we can also communicate, right? Same around the dinner table, you know, I bless it and the outcome of what I want to achieve from that room. You know, in the kitchen, that we cook, you know, beautiful healthy food, and you know, that we enjoy the cooking and stuff like that. So yeah, everything's like blessed and energified. So, you know, there's the candle, there's the sacred smudging, there's going around with the essential oils. The other thing that you can do is that you, as I said, you know, I talked about having the crystal grid around the home. You can actually cleanse and clear your crystals, but you can also program your crystals as well, and you can put them through the home. Remember to put your crystals out on a full moon so they can get blessed and charged. Because what crystals would do, right? So say for instance that you're around the dinner table, right, and you've had a row. If you have a crystal there, the crystal will absorb that fight, okay? And then what you'll find is sometimes, I don't know if you've ever noticed that sometimes you can go and pick a crystal up and it feels really dead, right? It feels really sad because a crystal is living. So what you'll find is that you need to cleanse and clear that crystal, because it will absorb. It's like a sponge. It will absorb and hold on to things because it's there to do a job, right? And it wants to do a job. So you do need to cleanse and clear your crystals at the same time, and then allow the blessings of the crystals, and then put it back. You'll also notice that with crystals, when they get to a point where they need cleansing and clearing, they'll shatter. I had one the other day. Actually, I was actually on my retreat, and I had a can't say it, tolermarine, can't say it, tolerant, I can't say it. I've got my teeth in tonight. Anyway, the next day when I went back into the workshop, into the event space, I picked it up and one of the crystals had been shattered, and I was like, okay, right, you've done your work. Thank you so much. And blessed and released it. I put it back into the earth. That's what I did with that one. But it's done its job. It needed to take on whatever was needing to be released from that event on that day. So, you can use crystals as well to do the beautiful, put beautiful frequencies of energy through the home. So say, for instance, if you want to bring more love into your relationship, right, or if you're looking for love, then you want 2 rose quartz crystals and place them by the side of your bed. So I have 2, but I have them on my husband's side of the bed. Because that's where I feel intuitively that those crystals need to be placed. I also find that when I've done energy and land clearing of the home for clients, that I always get told to pick out certain crystals for them to actually place crystals either in the home or in the earth outside of the home. I get directed because the home needs, because it's got a soul, right? The home also might need, the soul of the home might need crystal energy to support it as well. The other thing you can look at is blessing the threshold. So what you would do is, as you're doing your Palo Santo and you're doing your blessings, make sure you do your front door right. So as you go through the front door, you're blessing it, and you're saying, everyone that walks through this door is blessed with unconditional love, that they feel, happy, healthy, and they feel at home within it. So that's really some of my top tips when it comes to energy clearing your home, and that you do have a soul of a home. So you're probably saying, oh, tell me more about the soul of the home. So I'll leave that for another week, another video blog. And yeah, sending you lots of love. If you want to understand more, I do have a mini program. It's $59. It's called Creating Calm Energy Clearing Your Space. Basically what it does, it takes you through a process of more in depth of what I've spoken about today. I also have a masterclass within that mini program, but most importantly, what you'll find really, really interesting is that there is a guided meditation and healing for your home. And what I do is I bless you by you listening to it, and with your intention that we start to put blessings and downloads into the home, so that the home can feel better and more aligned to your frequency. So that's there as well. So there'll be a link under this video for you to be able to purchase that mini program. If you find that you have maybe done some energy clearing on your home, but you just think, oh, this needs, I need more attention on this home. So say, for instance, that you might have just bought a home, or you've purchased a home, but it doesn't feel like your home. Or maybe you're looking to sell your home. I actually work with a number of estate agents, right? And I do energy clearings for them and their clients, so that they can, yes, have a very positive campaign and success with selling homes. And I have done it multiple times on my own homes as well, to great success. So I actually offer a Akashic Record home healing service as well. I've actually worked with a number of property developers as well. So, it's not always just a quick sage and stuff like that. Homes are built on land, so land holds codes and energy. So sometimes I need to go and do deeper work within the home. So if that's something that is sparking your intention, I've done energy clearings and blessings on homes where people have purchased it. So yeah, I actually quite like doing the home stuff. It's really, really interesting, and especially when I work with the estate agents, because yeah, it just blows my mind, and property developers as well. It's been really, really interesting working with them. So if you want to know more or have a conversation with me, you can email me, no problem, or you can have a look at my services. So there's like a DIY formula, or there's me to actually help you with your service of your home. So take care, lots of love. I've enjoyed speaking to you today, and I will do another blog if you'd like. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to know more about the soul of your home. Take care.